So you know one sound that you can hear while it's running? I can hear the wheels going to turn the tub. Like, here's how it works. So once you first start it, it has a traditional regular motor, and that'll get electricity to run the dryer. But then the wheels will spin. But then the wheels at the bottom, the wheel parts that spin that's around that rubber band, the big rubber band that goes around the tub, it will that will help spin the dryer with the electricity. And that's how it'll work. Now, for the time update, I saw it at 35 minutes, but now it just went down to 14. I thought it was going to do the full 40 minutes, but like I said, sometimes it goes on a lot shorter. Sometimes time will take shorter than expected. So, it is, and it went down to 14 minutes. And now that the timer went down to 14 minutes, it will run for a total amount of time for 30 minutes. And I think by that time the clothes will be dry. That's the thing. The normal cycle, it does take very quick, and the clothes come out dry. Now that is because the clothes are the everyday clothing, like I think they are cottons. Yeah, cottons. And they will get dried quick, even in medium heat. And also that timer does go down really fast. So this dryer does not take very long to dry. Just like the washer on the normal cycle is very quick on going through the whole cycle, while the dryer is quick on drying on the clothes. Like, it doesn't spend too much time or it spends less time drying than a dryer with the mechanical timer would. That's because of the sensor dry system. Because these clothes get dry very quickly, the sensor decided it doesn't need very much time to dry. But, however, if it is a large load and you do it on normal dry, time will go up and go to the whole 40 minutes that goes up to. But for this load, 9 shirts, 10 pairs of underwear, 2 work shirts, and 2 pairs of shorts, it doesn't need much time. And also the timer did go down to 11 minutes. So time is going by pretty quick now. What you check on inside the tub. I really do like how it has the option to turn on the drum light very easily by pushing one button. Here we are again with the tub. Like, even in the dark, like, let's say the lights was not on in this laundry room, then you could still see inside because of that tub light. And also, the drum light does reflect itself on the wall that the dryer is facing towards. Yep. so it does so. The drum light is not an LED light, but it is a regular light. It does reflect very well, and you guys can see inside very well, which I do like that. And also the glass is not, and also the glass that with the dry that you can see through from the door, it is not reflective glass, because the reflective glass is when when you're inside you can see the outside, but when you're outside of this dryer, if it was reflective glass, then you wouldn't be able to see inside. Then it would be like, what was the purpose of the drum light? Or having a button there to turn it on when you can't see inside. So I'm lucky that it's not reflective glass. Now, that would be kind of a strange design for a dryer, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, it would be. Anyways, for time check, it has 8 minutes left. So, and the light is still on the damp one. So eventually, when it gets close to finishing the cycle, it'll go to the cool down light. And then it'll finish up the process from there, and the done light will turn on. But that will be later when the cycle actually finishes. So yeah, I'm just preparing y'all for what lights are going to be on next on the process times. And also the timer on the dryer does go down very quicker than any other dryer timer I have, or washer timer I have ever seen. So that timer does go down. So cycles are very quick, and it dries very well. And also, how is the clothes circulating with the heat? Well, I think the heating element heats up to a temperature, and it will keep that line on fire to get to the exhaust, so that way it will keep the heat inside the tub. But once the cool down process starts, then the heating element will shut off, and it will cool down the clothes and cool down the hot air for a little bit. Then that's when the dryer finishes. But for right now, it's still drying, so the heating element's still on to keep the hot air, to keep the medium heated air in the tubs for the clothes to circulate through and dry. And also, not just the clothes circulate through the hot air circling. The clothes do kind of move from back to bottom, from back to front. Like I think the yellow shirt was in the very back of the tub, but now it is all the way up here because the clothes have moved around. And sometimes the dryer dries longer than it cools. I'll just say that, like, it's at 4 minutes and the damp light is still on, so it's still drying. So the dryer is still drying, but it's doing its job, so to get the clothes dry, so that's good. And does the clothes have enough room to circulate through the air? Well, this dryer has a 7 cubic foot or a 7.2 cubic foot capacity. Well, it's because there's two websites. One said this dryer was 7 cubic foot and the other was 7.2. So it's between one of those two. And because of that, yes, the clothes do have enough room to circulate through the air to get the clothes dry. So this dryer has plenty of space to do that. Now for comforters, it would take you would have to run this several times. Like once the cycle's finished for the first time, you have to put the comforter back in a different way and run this dryer again and keep doing that until it is fully dry. Yep, this one does. Alright, it's on 2 minutes